I just saw this story or this little short, and I partially agree with this lady, man. You talk about people jumping on the political bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? And do the Renee Good thing, and I'm glad people are starting to stand up. You know what I'm saying? But these are topics that I've been personally talking about for well over 15 years. I think I really started to get involved with this after George Floyd pissed me off, man. Like that, I moved down to Florida, and you had Trayvon Martin happen that year. You had George Floyd happen at that, um, and being through the system, I've already been through the system and stuff like that. If you don't know about the prison system, man, it's created racism. Um, when you go in there, it's divided by race, almost intentionally. Um, being in Florida, Florida jail system with my northern attitude, where I mean, where I was at in Virginia, dude, like literally all my friends were like black and Hispanic. Like I didn't people, and I'm not trying to down people in white people in VA, but y'all some racist motherfuckers. Let's call it what it is, man. And you know, anyways, I used to kick it with a squad full of Somalians and stuff. I cooked at their weddings, all that type of stuff, man. So lost a little bit of contact in the last couple of years, but that's because I moved. But anyways, neither here nor there, man. Always been very open minded, even since high school, man. I mean, one of my best friends was Monte Edwards, and if you're from Centerville, everybody knows Monte, dude. Rest in peace. That was tragic. That's what got me on the bandwagon, to start doing stuff with suicide awareness, start doing stuff with, the once I got clean, the drug abuse and stuff like that. So, I agree with what this lady, I partially agree with what this lady was saying, man, because there are a lot of people that and I've seen this for a while, it's political bandwagon. I saw it when people started to jump on the Trump side, and then now that's just not going well. And then, I'm not going to hate on the people that came over to this side from there and was like, damn, he duped me. Because that shows a little bit of accountability. You know what I'm saying? But from someone that saw all this type of stuff happening well before it really happened in real time, it's hard, man. And, I get what the lady's saying, man, but I am your ally. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been your ally long before Renee Good, long before George Floyd, long before that, because I grew up in a household where we wasn't taught to hate on people. We wasn't taught to, exclude people. Shit, my mom was always like, "You need to be nice," like all the time. Like anytime we did something wrong and stuff, it normally got externalized or internalized to being our fault because we weren't, based on our little morals and stuff like that. So, I don't know, man, because it's weird, because it's like, I get the frustration, I get the frustration with the years and years and years and years and years and years and years, centuries even, of, especially African Americans and Hispanics just being treated poorly in this country. It's something that I really intensely care about. I've always been interested in studying other people's cultures, man. Like it's something that naturally, growing up, I was into, and with that came, learning, learning things, and when you start to learn this stuff, and you're like, you formulate, you're like, damn, dude, they made the 13th Amendment, but then you had the Jim Crow laws. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Like we abolished slavery, but there's still slavery in the prison system. And I know this from first-hand account because I was locked up in the Florida prison system. And if you don't know nothing about the Florida prison system, well, at least my county I was in, Jacksonville and Duval, when you get sentenced, unlike other places I've been locked up, Like you'll go into like a work co-op program. When you get sentenced in Florida, they take you to the P farm and your ass goes and works. And you don't get no fines paid off. You don't get no extra food, nothing. Like once you are, and I think this is where Trump maybe has took the playbook from. So I spent, I wasn't there for long, but I spent 4 months in a ditch in Florida in the hot ass sun working for free. That was 2016, man, and that really, that experience too. The Florida penal system is very, 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 very based on racial lines, and I was breaking those lines inside county jail. Like I didn't go up the road. I didn't go to prison, man. I go up to a drug program because I had a drug problem, and I was in the pod doing shit they ain't never seen before. Because normally I was like, I'm not like that. I'm not from there. This is not how we do shit up where I'm from. We were just, honestly, my group of friends in Virginia was just this multicultural patchwork of craziness, running around mobbing deep and doing the fucking soldier boy in the 7-Eleven parking lot shit. I mean, it was great, man. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted, for all this craziness. But yes, I mean, for people that wonder, man, I am your ally. Don't get it construed. I have never agreed with MAGA philosophy ever. I'm trying to wake up some of these people, but I've also learned that you have to put lines in the sand and put up barriers. You know what I'm saying? And as much as it hurt, man, I've recently stopped talking to one of my friends because of his political views, and we've known each other for a long time, but I just couldn't. Like when you see a lady get shot on live TV, and your buddy who used to be in the streets with you and used to do all this type of shit is talking about, well, she shouldn't have what? You know what I'm saying? Drove to work. How about they shouldn't have been there? You know what I'm saying? The reason I say this, man, is because this is fascism. This is I'm very grilled in history, man, and the hackers that probably watch my fucking shit all the time probably think I am a Nazi based on collecting data, but it's really just me understanding a certain point in history so we don't repeat it. You know what I'm saying? Like and understanding it down to the T. Yeah, I'm very into Vietnam War too. There was a lot of things that happened during the Vietnam War that were pretty crazy too. But it's neither here nor there, man. I just want to let people know off break, man. Yeah, I am your ally, and I'm not trying to divide anymore. And I dig what this lady is saying. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a lot of fake people, man. I've seen it a million times with people around me, where it's like, if the popularity is, that's what they're gonna do. We had a term for it back in the day. We called it being trendy. You just follow a trend. You know what I'm saying? You have no individuality. I have individuality. You know what I'm saying? Like and damned if I don't stand up for my beliefs. I believe that everybody has a right to be in this country. I believe everybody has a right to basic human freedoms. We shouldn't have to fucking worry about health care. There's Europe and Canada, they say this healthcare is shitty and stuff like that. But how can these countries have universal healthcare and we still, we're talking millions of dollars. My sponsor bitches about medical bills all the time. And I see them too because I keep getting them coming in too. And it's crazy to me, man. It's crazy that we went backwards. Like, I felt like during the Obama administration, I was in D.C. the night of his inauguration, man. We went out to the club. We went out to the hookah bar and stuff. And the thing I remember about that, there was this thing in the air. It felt like love and unity. And I went to D.C. and if people don't understand about DC clubs, man. Y'all know. If you're from the DMV area, like going out to a DC club some shit gonna happen that night, man. It's just like it's inevitable, man. Like it's never a smooth ride. It's never a, hey, we went out. Something always pops off at the club, man. And what I saw that night was everybody vibing and enjoying themselves. Everybody rocking. And there was a sense of love that I haven't seen since I used to go to raves back in the day when we were all pushing out peace, love, unity, and respect. And I feel like, I know it sounds hokey and it's just like a rave term, but I feel like we've gotten away from that, you know? Those principles, even myself, you know, I was this party kid, you know, this raver kid going around. And then within 10 years, not even like 5 years after I stopped going to the rave scene, I was listening to rap, starting to emulate that type of lifestyle, wanting to be a criminal, wanting to do this, getting happy when I did get arrested because it gave me something to feed my ego, right? Something to feed my ego. It'd be like, see, I'm big and bad, bro. You can't touch with me. And really, it was all bullshit. You know, it's like it's all some egotistical tough guy bullshit, man. I am stronger now because of it, though. Those experiences have made me. Like if you take a piece of coal, I say this a lot. You take a piece of coal and you put time and pressure on it, right? And a piece of coal's ugly. It's just a lump. You know what I'm saying? But if you put that time and that pressure on it, what ends up happening is this beautiful jewel. Unbreakable too. One of the hardest elements on the earth. You know? So, if you ain't at a diamond phase yet, man, you're still in that coal phase, man. Don't give up. Keep going. And as for this, hey, look, I have a saying I've been saying since a lot of this craziness has started. Hey, man, I stand with you. And what that means is if I stand with you, if I see my brother go down, if we out and ICE pull up and snatching people up, yeah, no, defend your people. Intervene, you know? I can't believe we're even here in society. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did we get back to this? Like, dead ass. When Stinky said we gonna go back to the 50s, he was damn right. Look at this shit. Like you can compare in history. It actually looks more like the Vietnam protests of the 70s. The type of stuff going on. I was watching a documentary the other day, and I'm like, damn, dude, this looks like what's going on now. You know? But it's 2026. We shouldn't have to be fighting for civil rights for people. We shouldn't be having to ask for, hey, people need to be treated fairly. Like, what in the actual fuck? And when you get MAGA group together, dude, they're like super evil to people, man. Like, super evil, dude. Narcissistic. Just like, I'm not trying to down anybody's shit, man, but this is what I've seen from the outside. I live in a red county in a blue state. You feel me? I mean, they used to parade in Jeeps with fucking Trump flags and shit like a convoy. Dead ass. Until the federal indictment started going around, they took them flags down real quick, bro. Ooh, the J6 shit happened. Then I was like, what happened? I was on the side for a car place. Is one of the best jobs I've ever had. I made like $17, $18 an hour to just stand there all day and listen to music. It was great. But yeah, they used to parade. You know what I'm saying? Parade with the flags. And I was like, yo, I've seen this rhetoric before in the history books. They just rebranded Nazism is what happened. You know? And I've always felt out of place. I never really fit. And it's funny, I've never really fit in with my own race. Like, I got into a fight one time. I was at a bar in Virginia. I just moved out there, man. I ain't probably lived in Virginia for, shit, dude, maybe 3 months, 4 months. And I was at a bar, and I was with this dude, Kevin Tracy. And we was chilling, having a good time. We was both on the same mission. We trying to vibe with some ladies and stuff. And this dude came up to me, white guy came up to me at the club and basically asked me why I was, you know, in a rude fucking way, why I was sitting with the dude. And of course, the alcohol in me, I said, "Yo, fuck this shit." And it like immediately, I was like, "I'm gonna stand up for my homie," you know, because where I come from, that's just how we ride, you know. Where I grew up and shit, like if someone fucks with your friends, yeah, you win that shit too. And I went to jail that night. Mo, I went to jail. I mean, it was for drunk in public and shit. I didn't get like no assault charges and shit. But it's like you know, this is back 2003. I'm standing up for people because I was taught that shit is not right. That we need to be able to come together and unify, man. You know, and I've been about unity for a long time, man. I said a long time ago the gangs need to fucking put their petty differences aside because honestly, they the ones with all the guns and shit. You know, you got rednecks and gangs. That's who got all the guns in America. So I don't know, man. I hope we can just let our differences go, man. Can we stop and being like, hey, oh, you're different, so I can't. Man, look, I went into the AA program looking at people's similarities versus differences. You know what I'm saying? And that's some profound shit. And I learned a lot from people, you know, I normally wouldn't talk to, be around. But as far as this issue, man, can we just come together and stop being petty and stuff like that? I'm not saying forget the past, man. But just like I'm taught in Alcoholics Anonymous, we wish to regret the past or shut the door on it. But we don't have to live there no more, man. If we understood what happened, if I come to you and be like, look, you know, my people or whatever that were here before did some horrible stuff to y'all's people. I'm sorry. Can we work past this? That's literally the 12 steps in motion. That's the 9th step. Making amends, right? But I'm not gonna be quiet about nothing. Because I've been speaking on this topic for well over 10 years. So I get the lady's frustration. And I hope she sees this video. I did make a comment. I hope she sees this video. I probably not, but I hope she does. And maybe it could change her mind a little bit. You know? I had a buddy of mine tell me, too, that these, in the legal system, count me out as being white when I go in front of a judge. They look at me differently. And damned if AD wasn't right about that. Yeah. You know anybody that did 2 years in jail for crushed up aspirin? I did. On a case I probably could have beat. But, you know, if I would have lost, daddy gave me more time. That's the real catch-22 is the legal system, man. It's hard. It's hard sometimes. My last charge, you know, yeah, my girl will fucking stand up and be like, despite what the police report says, my girl will be like, yeah, none of that shit happened. They lied on the police report. And I've seen them do that before several times. Lied on the police report, making me out to be this violent, crazy. I was just drunk and there was somebody stealing from me. And I had that day where I'm like, hey, bro, I'm not going to put up with this shit no more. And I'm not saying my actions were good. But yeah, dude, I wilded the fuck out. Because that's what I've been conditioned to do being in the prison system, as well, in and out of the prison system as long as I have. I'm not going to let anybody. But you know what? It sounds crazy. I'm grateful for that experience. The reason why is because now I don't drink or use drugs. So I wasn't really using drugs back then, but I was drinking like a fish. When I was drinking heavily, talking about, well, I'm not as bad as my brother, so I'm not an alcoholic, right? Okay. I drink $70 bottles of liquor, so I'm not an alcoholic because I drink expensive liquor. Okay. Drink it every day, but in large amounts, but because I prefer the top shelf stuff. I'm not like you, right? When in all actuality, I realized I'm exactly like them. It took a while, you know. I said a long time ago, one of my first times through the program, which was, if everybody ran the 12 steps, man, we might be able to achieve world peace, because it's all about looking at yourself, inward, your flaws, what you've done to people, and then having to turn around and take accountability for that stuff, and then go try to apologize. Can you imagine? That's crazy, right? But it works. If it doesn't work, it works for me. So, I don't know, man. I hope everybody's having a good day. I'm hoping everything works out the way it was. I'm hoping we can come together as people. And despite what this lady says, I'm gonna still ride with y'all. Even if you don't want me there. Because what they're doing to you, they're gonna do to us too. It's a progressive cycle. This is the cycle in America. First it was the immigrants. Now they're coming out. Now the rhetoric I've heard from MAGA is all about criminals, which I'm ex-criminal, and I've actually been having people online like, you're a criminal, you ain't shit, you ain't got no rights. Da 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 da. I'm like, yeah, pull up and fight me. And all they do is call me a bitch, but ain't not a damn one of them pulled up, right? Yeah, we gonna bring Trick Daddy into this, man. Remember that song? Hey, not a damn motherfucker pulled up, right? Because I was like, oh yeah, no, we about that action. Yeah, go ahead, come through. You know what I'm saying? But that's also another problem. I could go on that topic for a while. That's the repetitiveness of the system. The shit that they've kind of implanted in us. Hey man, fight your ops, fight this, fight that. Man, look, a lot could be said for peace and love, man. And I hope this message gets to whoever needs it today, man. Or tomorrow or the next day, man. And I hope my words have some sort of insightfulness. Don't let that little mild case of dyslexia when I type and switch little letters back and forth make you think I'm ignorant, dude. I read books for fun. I'm always on a constant quest for knowledge. Just because I didn't go to college or know 6 languages or get all these degrees and shit, don't ever underestimate my intelligence. Right? I may look dumb on paper, but anybody that knows me will be like, yo, dude, hey, this dude knows his shit. So, I hope we can come together and stand as one, man. And if we don't blow ourselves into the Stone Age again, because y'all decide to hand this megalomaniac, fucking crazy, spoiled, silver spoon, poop smelling ass dude the nuclear codes again. I mean, the guy's admitting to building an underground bunker in D.C. Why would he need that? Like, what, he can't go to Mount Weather? He needs to make sure that when the shit goes down, he can just run downstairs and hide. Hey, keyword of advice, man. When your gas generator runs out, this is the funny thing. When your gas generator runs out of oil, you don't have fucking clean air to breathe. And that was a nuclear war expert I heard say that. And it made me think, like, damn, they got all these people building these outlet shelters and stuff like that. You might only have enough gas to last 2 weeks to filter your air out. Dude, if we have a full nuclear conflict with the type of, uranium, selenium, there's dirty type of shit that also gets used. Y'all really, really, really think that 2 weeks worth of air supply, dude, it's going to take the half-life of a full nuclear exchange several years. But once we blow out the ozone system, once we blow out the atmosphere, guess what? Plants can't grow. So even if you have an air filter, if there's no oxygen, how are you supposed to breathe? You're in an underground tomb, dude. That millions of years later, they're going to dig up and be like, what are these weird looking bones and shit? Aliens fucking, thousands of years from now, digging up our bones while we was in some shelters. You know what I'm saying? Why were they underground and why'd they all die? Ain't no atmosphere, man. Mutually assured destruction is that, and that's where we're headed, man. This is the topic I'm really big about. I don't fuck with police brutality and people taking away civil rights and stuff like that. But the real issue right now, and what I'm seeing is, we are inching close to nuclear, like super close to nuclear war, man. I mean, we're staging troops right now. Literally, why do you think he wants to take over Greenland? He wants to make a supercontinent and then move. He wants to have everything, that whole America, South America and North America, one giant American-run continent. Yeah, that's the speech of a Maglo-maniac dictator. He has the same aspirations as Hitler, but I just saw Jon Stewart say it. Hey, Hitler was at least popular for a while. His popularity has dropped quite a bit. But he's still trying to hold on to control. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. Trying to control other people. That's most of y'all's biggest problem. Trying to control an outcome for some other individual. Grow the fuck up, man. You ain't in charge of somebody else's life. You feel me? You ain't in charge of no one's life, dude. I'm in charge of my life. So stop trying to be my overseer in my domain, right? Oh, we got to control his devices. Oh, we got to do this. We got to do that. Because we don't like him. Because our political ideals. You don't see that on our side, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what I call myself. Because there's shit that I see liberals do too that I'm not cool with. A lot of that cancel culture bullshit that was going on was coming from that side. And I get it, man. You're like, oh, this dude, got this shit. But you know what? Then people started replicating it. And then the other side started doing it. So now we're both just sitting there trying to out each other. Where are we going to find some sort of common ground? Let's dig up the dirt and just try to destroy them. Man, people make mistakes. You show me one perfect person, man, and yeah. There ain't no perfect people, dude. Everybody's got flaws. All y'all that are pointing at other motherfuckers, you got mad skeletons in your closet. A lot of this I see nowadays is a lot of self-projected and people that are self-loathing. And don't really know who they are because they've never took the time to be like, well, this is what I'm about. This is my flaws. These are my character defects. These are my character assets. No one's done that. I have. And I'm working on that stuff, man. I haven't finished my 12-step. I've been in this program this time for like 2 years, man. And I still haven't finished it. Why? Because I'm trying to learn how to do this shit in everyday life. I'm trying to learn how to keep every day in a 24-hour period where I don't use, I don't drink, and I don't treat people like shit. I don't spread rumors. I don't sit there and gossip. If you're doing that in the AA rooms, and this is just my personal opinion. If you're gossiping about one individual or a couple individuals in the AA room, I was told a long time ago that you're not doing enough in your program because you're worried about what another man is doing in his program, which means you need to take some time out for yourself, right? I've had people that have less time than me trying to tell me how I need to do things differently in my sobriety program, right? And the type of shit I'm doing to try to keep me clean, right? Dude, here's the thing. You know what keeps me clean? The death of my best friend. That's what keeps me clean. The death of my other friends. That's what keeps me clean. There was a period where I was like, fuck, I don't care. I'm so depressed, I want to join you. But I've worked through that. I've worked through my depression issues. I've worked through this other thing. And I love how I ramble. I go from one topic to another, man. But trust me, it all connects in the end. And through that, I've been able to find a certain peace to where I'm like, now I have my purpose. And my purpose is to help all of y'all not get tear gassed by the police, not get beat down, not have people coming door to door snatching people out of this house. This is what I fully believe in. And to see it happening in real time, I know what the Jewish people felt like back in 1938. I can feel it. I can feel that level of terror, that level of that. But I'm not going to be scared. That's the thing. The fact we saw it already in history, Woke people, yeah, Maggie, you need to understand what woke actually means. It means you're woke up from the bullshit that the system is trying to create for us. Has nothing to do with blue hair, bro, and all that other stuff. But if they're not going to give this person their rights, they're going to try to take mine away too. And that's what we see actively going on in real time. So yes, I will. Despite what this lady says, if I could see her in person, I would give her a hug and say, "Listen, I understand where you're coming from. I love you guys, and we need to work together. Despite what you may feel for me, I'm gonna have to prove to y'all that I rock with you. And if that means more posts, if that means more music songs that I've been doing, that's where I've been trying to hop into it. This music, man. I've always done music, and now I just have stuff to talk about and trying to compose that stuff and actively make a difference. Music is vibration, man, and vibration changes with wavelengths in water. Your body's 70% of water. The content you put in your brain. If you're listening to angry music, you're gonna be angry. You listen to happy music, you're gonna be happy. These are proven facts, man. Scientific. You can't, unless you just don't listen to science. Come on, guys. Anyways. But, damn, it's 30-minute spiel, dude. I was only trying to talk for a few minutes. But that's just how I feel, man. And I hope this lady does see my video. And can we come to some sort of common ground to where you don't... I get your frustration. I get why you're mad. And, yes, we don't need trendy people. We don't need people that when this hopefully pans over, that they're like, all right, well, this is the next new thing, so I'm going to go to that. Stay firm on your beliefs and rally the troops. Mr. Fab said that, Joe. And to show you how long I've been on this, Joe, go look up Mr. Fab in My Backpack Volume 3. I used to bump this. It's one of my favorite albums. One of my favorite albums I think that's ever been written. They Ain't Listening by Mr. Fab. And then look at how long that video has been out. I think about 13, 15 years. And I used to bump that stuff. Because I agree with the content. I agree with what he was saying. Man, look. They want to divide us, man. They keep trying to divide us. They don't want us unified. Because then when we wake up and realize, hey, man, they got all the money and there's little of them and there's a lot of us and we're hungry. Y'all see? Because I already saw the news thing the other day where they were talking about Trump's plan to basically fix the farm thing is using prisoner labor, slave labor, to do our farming because they cut a bunch of funds for the farmers, right? And I was talking about that while everything with the Epstein was jingling. I garden. I grow my own food. For a reason, I got into that because I saw what was starting to happen. I was like, oh shit. And sure enough, when they were like, oh yeah, our crops are failing and the cattle industry, you ever notice the price of beef right now is pretty expensive because the cattle industry is failing because they pulled funding. These people that voted for him. And then he just turned around and was like, yeah, thanks for the vote, but you're screwed. Figure it out. What a dick. Donald Trump the dick. And I hope he hears this shit, man. Hey, yo, I'm going to tell you right now, dude. You're just a silver spoon dude. You the type of dude that if you didn't go to private school, we'd have probably beat you up back in the day. If you didn't have all that money, we'd have beat you fuck up. Like, we'd have, straight up. Also, I'm going to talk about this too, man. Don't flash how much you have. Especially when there's a bunch of poor people around. Yes. I'm going to, I don't condone the behavior. But don't do it. Don't brag on it. I had a buddy of mine get robbed twice in 1 week for doing that same shit on social media. Flashing his fucking money, all that shit. People was like, yo, that's a mark. And if you don't know what a mark is, you marked you marked to get got, basically. So yeah, man. Hopefully we can come together, man. Stop letting our petty differences come in between something, because if we don't work together, it's done, man. Endgame. This is endgame stuff. Staging troops in places. Y'all don't see that, like, we're getting prepared for, World War III. But World War III ain't going to be a long war, man. It's going to start off as little skirmishes here between these, and then one day someone's going to launch one. That's all it takes. Someone's going to launch one fucking nuke. And once that one flies out and it gets detected on radar, it starts a chain of events we cannot stop. And we've come several times in history close to that. And this is what I'm really terrified about. Because that means there's no future for anybody. Your kids, your grandchildren, none of that. No future. Zero. Endgame annihilation. No more puppy dogs. No more kitty cats. Endgame annihilation. That we created ourselves. It's almost weird the duality of man, don't you think? I could keep talking. I got to get off here and go do some shit. So, I've been busy today. So, I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one. This is kind of a long video. Hopefully you stay at the end. If you don't, hey, more power to you, man. But you can't get the whole message till you listen to the whole sermon, right? Y'all have a good one.